You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It's almost like Giannis Antetokounmpo should have a nickname that implies that he's like some kind of physical freak of nature for how good he is at the sport of basketball and how athletic he is. That was an absolute display. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited. I was very happy to see Adem Bona come out the way he played tonight, but I am just absolutely marveling at the opponent tonight. Look, we all know what the 76ers are. We all know what their goal is. This is the first postcast we're doing since the news came out about Joel Embiid, arthroscopic surgery. He's done for the year, as we knew, but he's going to get that reevaluated in 6 weeks. Maxi's done for the season. Paul George been done for the season, all that. And we know what the Sixers are on track to do, which is at least be the fourth or fifth worst team in the NBA. You know, we've covered that plenty of times. But oh, my goodness gracious. Giannis Antetokounmpo, before I even get in any player of the game or anything like that, I never show the opponent's box score. But just to see the line that he put up tonight, 35 points, 20 assists, 17 rebounds in 39 minutes on the floor today. Absolutely incredible. Only player in the NBA with 35-plus points, 17-plus rebounds, and 20-plus assists since 1982, 1983. It just so happens the Sixers won the championship that year. Side note, also a certain postcast host was born. The other is really nothing else. That was just incredible. Absolutely a freakish performance by the man they call the Greek Freak. It's rare that you, just absolutely in awe of Giannis Antetokounmpo tonight and what he was able to do against 76ers. Now, with that being said, that's what you call giving the props. That's what they used to say, at least. Call it giving the flowers nowadays. I give every petal of every flower to Giannis Antetokounmpo and what he was able to do tonight. Do I know that the opponent he did it against? Absolutely. And with that being said, let's get into the man that we were going to call our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
With all that great stuff I just said about Giannis, my complete homerism is that he's not the player of the game. The player of the game is Adem Bona. I mean, come on. Hey, what am I going to do? Tell Adem Bona? Hey, Adem Bona, I'm going with Giannis as the player of the game. And then here's Adem Bona. Yeah, Adem Bona, don't worry. You're the player of the game. 28 points tonight for Adem Bona. 6 rebounds tonight for Adem Bona. Let's flash his box score up here as well. Adem Bona came up with the 6 rebounds, came up with 3 blocks, came up with 2 steals, came up with a career high 28 points for him. And look, the stat line is great. And you're going to look at the box score and you're going to look what he did. But if you're only checking the box scores or you're checking out postcasts after the Sixers games throughout the last month plus of the season, just know this. You missed a sight for sore eyes in the first quarter of this game. And you can, again, throw away the stat line, the 10 points Adem Bona had in the first quarter. What impressed me the most is that he went up and D'd up Giannis Antetokounmpo in that first quarter like he was a man on a mission. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo went out there and just had a terrific night that first quarter. I believe he only had 8 points in that first quarter, hit a 3 late in that first quarter. But all in all, Adem Bona wanted the smoke. Now, if you're a rookie and you're playing against a 30-year-old MVP NBA champion and a guy that is a physical specimen, such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, well, then you're probably going to get yours. You're probably going to be fed your lunch by that man, and that's what happened. But there are guys that you see that are rookies. There are guys that you see that are second-round picks like Adem Bona that cower, absolutely cower, or would cower away from what Giannis was doing tonight. But Adem Bona was all but going up there and slapping the floor, saying, I'm going to D you up tonight, man. You're going to get yours, 35 points, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there every step of the way. I'm going to be within a step. I'm going to be D'ing up. He had 1 block on him tonight. That's all you need for a little bit of confidence. The box score was great. The points were great. The rebounds were good. 6 rebounds, good. Not great, but good. The blocks, good. Now, 11 straight games Adem Bona has come up with a block. The last Sixers center to do that as a rookie was, the last Sixers center to do that, I think, period, was Joel Embiid. But how about that? So Adem Bona goes out there and does that tonight. And all in all, what I take away from it is not the athleticism, because I know that's there. I knew a game like this was coming for Adem Bona. It was just a matter of everything coming together, and everything came together for him tonight. But what impressed me more so than just the numbers on the stat sheet is the way he went about this game. There's no stat line for that. There's no number you could throw on that. It was all attitude. You want to talk about an eye test tonight for Adem Bona? He got that eye test, and he passed with flying colors tonight. And look what it led to. That attitude of, I'm going to do anything I want to do on the court, offensively speaking. I'm going to get every rebound if I can. I'm going to get every putback if I can. And I'm going to take advantage of every little dump off, baseline drive, dump off to me. I'm going to throw it down tonight. That's what that was his mentality tonight. And that's the type of athleticism that we were talking about the other night from Adem Bona that he brings to the floor. And it is absolutely between the attitude, between the aggression, between the no fear that you saw from him tonight. That is certainly a guy. I look at this season, the tryout for next year, as I've been saying, all throughout the last month and a half, of the season. It's a tryout for next year. This is a guy passing the audition with flying colors. I'm looking at these guys and I'm saying Quentin Grimes would love to have you. Would absolutely love to have you on the team next year. I'm looking at Adem Bona and I'm saying I'd love to have you on the team again next year. Love to have that kind of athleticism coming off the bench. We don't know what's happening with Joel Embiid. Look, again, our first postcast since the news broke of Joel Embiid getting the surgery. A third surgery on that left knee. Second surgery in 14 months. We don't know what the future holds. Here's my guess on the whole situation is that the days of Joel Embiid being an MVP candidate are done. Those days are done. This is one of the most pessimistic things. This is some of the most pessimistic stuff I've heard about a player announcing that they're going to have surgery. I've seen, expected to make a full recovery. Yeah, but full recovery as far as like health, but full recovery as far as level of play? Is he going to get back to that level of play? Like, this is no sure thing that he gets this surgery and all of a sudden, hey guys, it's going to be me and Joker again, compete for MVP. No, that's unlikely. Sixers are going to need a center. If not a center to be their starter, they're going to need a center to be their backup. Andre Drummond has a player option for next year at $5 million. Adem Bona, for me, has already played himself, even before tonight, played himself. Now you got 5 games left in the season. Has played himself into that backup center role at worst for the Sixers next year. So all you're seeing from this year from Adem Bona is a guy that I think has plenty of development ahead of him. And I think he's got the work ethic to want to get to the best possible version of himself that he could be. And I learned a lot of that by watching him over the last month and a half, but a good amount of that watching him tonight. That it really impressed me to see him have zero fear against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Did Giannis have an insanely historic night? Yeah, that happens. But I didn't expect Adem Bona. Oh, wow, Adem Bona really shut down the freak. No, he's a freak for a reason. Let's get into when this game really became 100%. Because, look, this game started out great for the Sixers, and then there was a turning point, and then there was another turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The turning point. We could really go down to a couple of different things here. Let's go number one. The turning point for this game came back on December 6th, 1994. That's when Giannis Antetokounmpo was born. Or you could go to June 27th, 2023, the night of the NBA draft, when the 76ers took Michael Carter-Williams in the first round and then traded for Nerlens Noel. So, in essence, the Sixers passed twice. I know everyone wants to say, oh, casuals say that they passed on. Everybody passed on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Everybody did. Yeah, well, the Sixers theoretically passed on him twice. Who else did that? Oh, nobody? Okay, cool. So that's a turning point for tonight's game. But in all seriousness, the Sixers went out tonight in the first quarter, and they gave me something. We'd said over the last couple of games, they gave us nothing. The Sixers gave us nothing. But in this game tonight, they certainly gave you something. They gave you a great first quarter in which they outscored the Milwaukee Bucks 39-25. Adem Bona had 10 points. You certainly got something to watch out of that. They shot 68% from the floor. They shot 62% from beyond the arc. That was great. Was it going to last? No, of course it wasn't going to last. As a matter of fact, it didn't even last into the next quarter because then the Milwaukee Bucks started a turning point outscoring the Sixers 36-20 in that second quarter. And then in the late in the third quarter, Gary Trent Jr. knocked down a three and then hit a couple of the free throws. At that point, the Sixers were still keeping it about a 5-point game, but Gary Trent Jr. knocked down that corner three. Lonnie Walker, I think it was, hurt his ankle with about a minute left in that quarter. And then Gary Trent Jr. had 5 points in the final 30 seconds of that quarter. And that was more or less, I feel, the turning point of the game that clinched it for the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's what I'll go with. The 32-second mark of the third quarter, the turning point when Gary Trent Jr. really put the game out of reach for the Sixers. Hey, coming up, another Sixer joins the fray that just looks like a guy who won a contest. We'll talk about him, and let's talk about some of these other Sixer guys that were able to come in tonight and actually give you something worth watching. That's when we return on Locked On 76ers postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Let me tell you about 5 Hour Energy. You guys need that extra boost? We got a bit of a double dip tonight. I had the Phillies, then the Sixers. A little 5 Hour Energy in between just to make sure I was going to be raring, ready to go. Daylight savings maybe still messing with people, but how about this? If you're staying up late to watch games, you're staying up late to watch the NCAA tournament, for instance, squeezing around a golf in after work, grab a 5 Hour Energy and get that energy that you need. I've been staying up late watching the tournament. I know you have too. 5 Hour Energy helps me keep up the next day. Extra daylight savings. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on now. With longer days, love getting outside to play softball with my daughter. Just 5 years old, starting to play softball. Grab a 5 Hour Energy and I'm ready to go. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, peach mango, and you can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized with 5 Hour Energy. Hey, speaking of that NCAA tournament, FanDuel giving you the chance to get in on all the action like never before. Got the Final Four coming up. Oh, my goodness. Auburn, Florida, Duke, Houston. Can you say chalk? Duke's favored 5.5. Florida right now favored 2.5. Get in on the action with FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bonus bucks to use for everything from buzzer beaters to who's cutting down the nets. I love picking my favorites as well. I've got my eye on a few underdogs. Well, I had them on a few underdogs earlier in the year. Didn't really work out for me. But just to get I'm liking Duke over Houston. And I am liking Florida over Auburn. Let's get crazy. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So staying on the action with FanDuel. The FanDuel app is simple and easy to use. When I actually get a win, I get paid instantly. No waiting around with FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action as well as so much more at FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Before we go any further,
this is what you'll be talking about.
Obviously, the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo is a freak, appropriately named, and Adem Bona. You're going to be talking about Adem Bona tomorrow and what he was able to do, 28 points for your 76ers. You might even be talking about how it took this long for Nick Nurse to get thrown out of a game. That might enter the conversation tomorrow. He got tossed in the early in the fourth quarter, I think, or late in the third quarter, I think it was, arguing a call on the sideline. It was a second tee, so he got thrown out. Probably that'll make its way into the conversation. Also, the fact that the 76ers lost. The Brooklyn Nets were also losing, so really not much in the standings is going to change there. The Pelicans are off tonight. They played yesterday, and they lost. Come on, Pelicans. That's probably what you'll be talking about tomorrow. As far as some other guys that had some key contributions in tonight's game, you can certainly look up and down the box score. Gershon Yabusele, 22 points. Quentin Grimes, another 20-plus point performance, this time 24 points. 3 of 8 from beyond the arc and off the bench. Leading the bench unit in scoring was Jalen Hood-Schifino, who dropped in 7 points in 18 minutes played. Jared Butler, how about him? 14 points. And I feel bad. I legit feel bad for Lonnie Walker. Comes back from the concussion, gets 4 points tonight. And Lonnie Walker, unfortunately, it's like they shouldn't have fans sitting right there on the court, for instance, but they do. stepping back, and it looked like I know Al Andarabi said during the game that he stepped on like the edge of the court or on a seat or something. It looked like he stepped on a woman's foot, is what it looked like. So he was taken out of the game, and that was that. So that was unfortunate, and hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. As far as the contest winner, who is it? Alex Reese, we've been talking about a lot with the 76ers. Like, who's this guy with the shorts hiked up a little too high? But who's this next guy? So the next guy that came out for the Sixers tonight has actually been around with a couple of NBA teams already, undrafted out of Florida. And that is Colin Castleton, who spent time with the Lakers, with the Toronto Raptors, and now is with the 76ers, the fourth team he's played for in his NBA career. He made his way out there tonight and got his first bucket with the Sixers. What did he end up? Was that the only 2 points of the game he had? It was the only 2 points of the game he had. But how about this? 15 minutes, he gets 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Way to get in the game, son. Not too bad. Your 76ers are now going to be off until Saturday night. Busy Saturday night, Final Four as well. But they'll be at it Saturday night. They're going to play host to the Minnesota Timberwolves, another tough team coming into South Philadelphia. Sixers now 23-54 on the season. The Timberwolves 44-32. That game will tip off again in South Philly at 7 o'clock. The 76ers, all in all, have now lost 10 games in a row. And they're still trying to be worse with 5 games left. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe, not on Locked On Sports Philadelphia, but on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel, where yours truly is going to be breaking down every single Phillies game throughout this season. I'll be right there after the game, 15, 20 minutes, breaking it down with you, reading your comments, going over it with you on Locked On Phillies Postcast. Connor Thomas has you for your Locked On Daily Phillies podcast. I have you for your Locked On Phillies Postcast after each and every game. So like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone. Catch you guys tomorrow on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel for your Locked On Phillies Postcast. See you guys then. Bye.